So yesterday, after over 500 days of waiting, we finally got a full-on, proper Nintendo Direct. And you will probably be shocked to hear this, but not everyone loved it. I mean, can you believe that? A Nintendo Direct that didn't please 100% of people? Crazy. So today, I wanted to run down some of the highlights and discuss whether or not the big return of Nintendo Directs was in fact a letdown. But before we get into that, quick reminder, if you end up enjoying the video, please remember to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo Direct coverage in the future. Let's start right off with the big announcement of the presentation. DC Superhero Girls Teen Power. In this game, you get to run around as many of the iconic female superheroes from the DC universe and take selfies, probably have sleepovers and talk about boys. I don't know. This one's gonna be huge. Big time system seller. I'm surprised they didn't close out the show with this game. At least give us a DC Superhero Girls Teen Power themed Nintendo Switch. I mean, what a missed opportunity that is. Make no mistake about it, this is definitely gonna be a top 10 software seller for the Nintendo Switch system. I think we all can agree on that. In all seriousness, let's actually start at the beginning. We got some serious Xenoblade Chronicles 2 love. They did a pretty good job at tripping me up. My first thought when the trailer started was, oh, this is going to be Smash. But as it kind of dragged on, I was like, is this actually going to be some kind of DLC or something for Xenoblade Chronicles 2? We see Pyra, she spins around and is like, I got an invitation to Smash. Such great news. It's about time we got another anime sword fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I mean, think about this. It's been a long time, not since Sephiroth, okay, have we gotten an anime character that wields a sword in this game. So, long overdue, I would say. And we got not just Pyra, but Mithra is also coming along with her, as you're going to be able to switch between the characters on the fly. In terms of the choice of having those two seriously joining the Smash roster, I feel bad because I joke about the anime sword fighters. It does irritate me as well, but it's like, I defended Sephiroth and I'm going to defend this as well. There's a strong fan base for Xenoblade Chronicles, specifically Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that were hoping to get a rep specifically from that game. Myself, I think a lot of others were expecting Rex and Pyra to kind of come along as a duo. They even kind of made a joke about it in the trailer with Rex being like, oh, I thought I was getting invited and stuff like that. Kind of still wish that's the route we went with, but I mean, come on, look at this. Mad about anime sword characters or not, how do you look at that and say, I don't want that in my video game? How is that possible? I don't think it is. So personally, I do like this pick. Not a character I was pulling for. Same with Sephiroth, and yes, it's another anime sword character, but deserving of the slots all the same. I'll say right here, you can clip this. If the next character in this fighter pass is another like anime sword wielder type, even if it's Sora from Kingdom Hearts, okay, I'll criticize it, I'll hate it. We'll piss off whatever fan base it comes from. But yeah, I myself liked the Smash reveal. Right after that, Dead Guys for Nintendo Switch was announced. Then, the next big thing was a new trailer for Monster Hunter Rise. I'm never gonna have a problem with seeing more Monster Hunter Rise. The game looks amazing in my opinion. It's probably going to be one of the better looking Switch games ever, but we've gotten plenty on the game, including a demo. I'm just ready for this one to come out already. So it's one of those things where I think it belongs in there. I want as many people to see the game as possible, which that's a goal of the Nintendo Directs. But for myself, I'm ready to play it. Then we got the new Mario Golf announcement, Mario Golf Super Rush. I said in my video the day before the Direct, this was like the closest I came, I think, to predicting anything, that I'd like to see more of the Mario sports games return to Switch. I think they did a great job with like Aces. I was pulling personally, though, for a new Mario Strikers game, but this looks pretty great. You've got this RPG story mode that you get to play with your Mii. You level them up and everything. It looks really cool. And then there is this speed golf mode that I thought just looked awesome. When they cut to this in the trailer and everyone just started sprinting around, I'm like, what the hell is happening? If you didn't see it, this is basically just who can get their ball in the hole the fastest. So everyone's playing at the same time. You can get power-ups to make your character move faster. Much more of a party vibe here, and I think that's a good thing for these sports games, the Mario sports games. The whole point of these games, why they're so attractive to people like me, is that they're not simulators. They got all this goofy stuff going on. You know, I don't want to play FIFA or Tiger Woods. I want to play these Mario sports games. Not to mention some of these designs, we got to talk about them. Bowser's got pants, and that Wario drip, boys. I mean, just look at this specimen. I mean, that's going to be worth the price of admission right there. So I'm really excited. That's definitely going to be a day one pickup for me. No More Heroes came after that, similar to Monster Hunter Rise. Still looking awesome. I'm just ready to play it. Kind of annoyed at the August release date they dropped on us. I was kind of hoping that maybe it'd be a bit sooner since the game was delayed into 2021. But I'll live. Definitely looking forward to that. Now, the Project Triangle strategy trailer is where I'm probably going to get some flack, because this is where my real criticism of the Direct starts. To be clear, I loved Octopath Traveler. I think this game looks great. I like the idea that they're going the more tactics route with this follow-up. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But this went on too long. I love my RPGs, my JRPGs, but this is definitely, and I mean, fans of the genre, we have to kind of admit this, especially ones like this. This is a more niche game, and that is, like I said before, part of the benefit of these directs is showing games like this that may not get eyeballs on them otherwise and deserve the spotlight, which I totally think this game fits that criteria. It's something I'd want to get more eyeballs on. They even put out a demo and are doing like the stuff with Bravely Default where they're asking for direct feedback from people who play the demo, which I also think is great. The showcase for this game ran for close to 5 minutes, which you may not think is that long, but the whole Direct, remember, was about 50 minutes long, 50. So we're talking close to 10% of the entire Nintendo Direct was focused on this game. That's too long for this type of game, in my opinion. I think it hurts the flow of things, something I'm going to talk about towards the end. If you want to go longer for titles like Smash, Zelda, Mario, etc., go for it, because those games are going to cast the widest net. But I don't think you should be going so in-depth in a, big direct presentation like this for a game like Project Triangle Strategy. To reiterate, I'm excited for the game. I'm not hating on the game. I'm sure a lot of people are going to make it sound like I am, but I just think that was not a proper use of time. After that, I wanted to touch on the Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, just because, well, for one, I think it looks great. People should play the Ninja Gaiden games. But this is another example of third parties just destroying Nintendo in terms of collection/port value. This set comes with Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1 and 2, as well as Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. Ninja Gaiden 3 first launched as a Wii U game, so you're basically getting a Wii U port with 2 other remastered games for $60. When it's like Nintendo's individual ports are $60 on their own. I'm really excited to pick up the set, play through those games, but I do think that's something worth pointing out, because I feel like a lot of people, when they defend the practices of, say, Nintendo, they say things like, oh, well, they gotta make money somehow. Well, then how are these guys making money if they're able to offer you all this for, the same price as Nintendo offers you one Wii U port for? And of course, this collection isn't going to sell as much as those Nintendo ports either. After that, we learned that Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is going to get an expansion pass. This announcement is something I thought they could have spent a little bit more time on, like maybe actually showing some of what it includes. Like, they just listed out things like characters, weapons, etc. on a schedule. Nothing very specific. I mean, it's cool that we're getting more content for the game, but would have been nice in a big direct like this to actually talk a little bit about what's actually coming, show people some stuff to get them excited about it, to sell them on it. Nevertheless, cool we're getting more stuff for Age of Calamity. I believe it's like the most successful Warriors game they've done, so makes total sense that we'd get more stuff for it. Which leads us into the big disappointment of the Nintendo Direct. Aonuma popped on screen and was like, oh, you nerds thought you were going to see Breath of the Wild 2 today? Dumb bastards. Of course you're not. They need more time, he said, before they're ready to show Breath of the Wild 2. Big sad, but they didn't leave us empty-handed in terms of Zelda news. We got the official announcement of Skyward Sword HD. Super glad this game is coming to the Switch with optional motion controls. You're going to be able to use like the right stick to aim your sword sort of in the direction you want to swipe. So you're going to be able to play the full game without using like the Joy-Cons. You can use the Joy-Cons and do the classic motion sword swiping bow and all that, but the game's going to be fully playable without them. It's even playable on the Switch Lite. Now, I know this isn't everyone's favorite Zelda game, but it's one we needed a remaster for it. I said in my video the day before the Direct happened, it is the next logical step after Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, obviously, and I'm glad a new crop of people are going to be able to check it out. I think the quality of the remaster looks good, but again, to me, the big thing was being able to play this game without the motion controls. That was the thing I was looking forward to the most, so that's the thing I'm most excited for with this game. I noticed a couple people mentioning that this is another game getting a price increase. I believe it was $50 when it originally came out on Wii. Now it's going to be $60 on the Switch. You know me, I'm not a fan of those practices when, I've called out stuff like Tropical Freeze, but again, Tropical Freeze, a game like that was a straight like port with an additional playable character, and they charged $10 more than launch. This is a full-on remaster, just like they did with the other Zelda games, and again, the control situation is worth a good amount of value to me personally, so it's going to be another case. I'm going to have to play it and see if I feel like that $60 price tag is justified. These Zelda, I've liked all the Zelda remasters so far, but there's definitely been discrepancy, I'd say. I think Wind Waker is, by most people, enjoyed a lot more than Twilight Princess. So yeah, I'm going to have to see when I play through this, how I feel about everything, but I'm excited it's coming, and I'm super happy I'm going to be able to play it without waving my hands around like a maniac. Also, they announced new Joy-Cons for it that are like the Master Sword and Hyrulean Shield themed. I thought those Joy-Cons looked really cool. Can't wait to pick those up and have them drift in 3 months. And of course, there was just one more thing. After that, we got the reveal of Splatoon 3. By far the biggest, bestest announcement from the entire Direct. Probably saved the whole thing in a lot of people's minds. All thanks to the new hero of the series, Little Buddy. This guy, he's got a bright future. I mean, just look at him go! Immediately, a star was born. As someone who has followed and covered this industry for a long time, I know greatness when I see it, and I can already tell. The new Holy Trinity, the Triforce of Nintendo going forward, is going to be Mario, Link, and Little Buddy. That's the level of a massive legend status we're dealing with here. Can't wait to go on adventures with Nintendo's new MVP, and sadly, that wait is going to be quite a while. Splatoon 3 won't drop until 2022. I was hoping with the focus of this Direct being on 2021 games, specifically the first half of 2021 at that, they were going to hit us with a summer date, but yeah, the 2022, that hurt. Still though, very significant announcement with the limping along of Splatoon 2, where you've got like the pity splatfests every now and then. I'm sure players are happy to know there's light at the end of the tunnel, even if it's dim and far out. Which brings us back to the question of, was this Direct a disappointment? For one, the biggest factor working against this Direct was the time away. Well over a year, again, without a Nintendo Direct meant expectations were through the roof. If that was not the case, if this was more like a typical quarterly type entry, I think people would have a much different feel. But again, that's not the case, and I think people are right in having high expectations when you haven't had one of these events for a whole year. Going off of that, I think there was definitely good stuff announced, stuff I'm very excited for, enough for me to say it was solid, not amazing, not mind-blowing or anything, but good. The time, like I alluded to, was too much. One of the greatest things about Directs is how they cut the bloat we often see in similar presentations from other companies, but there was some bloat in this. I think this could have easily been a much tighter 30 to 35 minutes long and felt much better. You know, I mentioned the Project Triangle thing going on long. Some of these games, they showed, you know, a trailer for Stubbs the Zombie coming to Switch. Not trying to hate on Stubbs, but, like, I don't need to see this game during the Direct. That dodgeball game EA is doing with that stupidly cringe trailer, I would have thrown that in the garbage where it belongs. So yeah, I think it could have been tightened up a lot so it didn't kind of, you know, have these parts where it dragged. But there was enough stuff here that I was pleased with to be satisfied in terms of a general Direct. Now, with it being the first one after so long without one, yeah, in that regard, it was disappointing, but it would have been hard for it not to be after that long wait. So overall, I think this was a decent Direct. Not the best, not the worst, but given the circumstances, I see why people were let down. You know, 500, whatever it is, 530 days without a Nintendo Direct. You want it to be like one of the best ever, and I don't think anybody's going to argue that this was the best Nintendo Direct. Anyway, with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on the latest Nintendo Direct in the comments. After all this time away, were you pleased with the comeback, or did you feel let down by it? As always, I'm the Shy Guy, Johnny Zakari, and thanks for watching.